What is up this end anyone and yeah, just before this video starts here, I just wanted to say I forgot about one player, because when I saved all my pictures and the files, you know, to obviously drag them up to the top, I forgot about one striker, arguably the best striker in the world at the moment, Harry Kane. I forgot about Harry Kane. Right, so if you guys, I'm gonna just tell you right now, we all know what Harry Kane is. I mean, the world class, you know. I think that's fairly obvious, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the video, and I hope to catch you on a bit, lads. Much love. Guys, what is up this end? Welcome to another video on the channel here today, and hope you guys are having a cracking day. If you guys are new and watch this video for the first time, please do make sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel. We are trying to hit 1.7k. Let's try and achieve that as soon as possible. But now we're going to kick off this video here, and now I am ranking every single Premier League striker, you know, in a tier list. This is going to be absolutely mad, so we do need to get through this quickly. So we're going to start with Vinicius, who's recently brought by Spurs off the transfer window. I mean, I'd put him in good. I don't think he's over. I know he's underrated. To be fair, we haven't seen too much of him apart from Europa League games and the odd Premier League game in there. But he seems like a good striker that can head the ball, hold at the ball, and even shoot as well. Which I'm not going to lie, if Spurs can buy him permanently, I think that'd be a cracking buy. And also put in the comments, boys, if there's any strikers I've forgotten about, okay? I'm sorry if I have, okay? Because I've literally gone through every single Premier League team, set them all into file, and I don't know if I've missed any or messed any up. But now we're going to go to the next one is Carlon Grant, who I don't think is the correct signing for West Brom. Honestly, I really do not think he's a good... I really don't think he was the correct signing, as you know, to keep him up in the Championship. I'm going to put him overrated. The reason why I'm going to put him overrated, I think he's good for the Championship. You know, definitely. I just think he needs to be blended in, and I feel like he needs to play off somebody. You know, so like, I reckon if he plays like off a Charlie Austin type striker, you know, he would do really well for West Brom. Next one, we're going to go with Charlison. I don't know what to say about Charlison, to be fair. I know, like, this is my opinion, boys, so please don't... I'm going to put him in overrated. I think he's good, but I don't think he's as good as, you know, the price Everton paid for him. And, you know, and also how good some people are making him out to be. Like, his record isn't that good, his assist record isn't that good, you know. But he is a decent striker. You know, if he gets a few goals and a few assists, I'll probably change my mind. But I just think, you know, Everton paid, like, didn't they pay, like, 55 million for him? I don't think he's paid up to... I don't think he's lived up to expectation. Coming into Callum Robinson. The thing is, we've got to remember about West Brom, they don't have that many good players, no offence, but you need good players to be able to pass the ball to these type of strikers. I think I'm going to put him in overrate. No, I'm going to put him in should be sold. I think his first player's going in that category. I do think he's a decent striker, to be fair. I think he's good, but I don't think he's Premier League standard. You know, he doesn't know all right. No, you know, I'm changing my mind, actually. I'm going to put him overrated. I feel like, you know, being overrated doesn't mean you're bad, in my opinion. So I think he's an alright striker, but I just think for West Brom, he hasn't lived to the expectations yet. But then again, West Brom are playing him in the system, which he shouldn't be played in. Now we're on to Billy Sharp, who I think I'm going to put in... I don't think he should be sold, but I don't think he should play for Sheffield United. I don't think he's Premier League standard. I don't think he's good enough, but I think he could do a job on the bench. I understand why Sheffield United's still playing, because he's a bit of a hero, a bit of a leader, a bit of a captain, a bit of a role model to look up to for most of the players. We're going to now move to Sergio Aguero. We've got to put Sergio Aguero in world class, you know, even not for this season. You know, he definitely does deserve to be up there in terms of, you know, being an absolute class striker. You know, he's one of the best strikers in the Premier League, or if not the best class striker. Now moving on to Jamie Vardy, world class again. You know, I think he's one of those underrated strikers in the Premier League, honestly. He's done absolutely fantastic, especially considering where he came from, you know, as a youngster. You know, he's only playing pub football and now playing, you know, in you could even debate a top 6 club in Leicester, you know, and I generally think Jamie Vardy should definitely be in world class, and I definitely think, you know, I definitely think he should be in a, you know, like a Premier League team of the decade or something. He's been absolutely superb. Right, Lacazette, This one, I'm gonna put Lacazette in good. I don't think he's at the heights as I thought he would. You know, at Arsenal, especially recently. When he first came to Arsenal, he done alright, you know, his first season at Arsenal. But since Aubameyang's come in, Aubameyang's kind of overshadowed Lacazette, and we don't hear too much from Lacazette anymore. But I think he's a good striker. I think he is a really good striker, and I think he definitely deserves to be in there. Now moving on to Ashley Barnes. I'm going to put Ashley Barnes in good. I think he's a good striker. I really do, honestly. Him and Chris would have been banging in goals for Burnley recently, and I definitely think, you know, he is a Premier League proven striker. Ollie Watkins. I'm going to put Ollie Watkins. It's between underrated and overrated, but the problem is, it's actually been overrated and good because he's missed a lot of chances for Villa. He missed that chance against obviously West Ham. He missed 2 chances against West Ham to possibly pull level, and and I don't think he's the heights of how much Villa paid for him. But I'm gonna put him in. I think he's a good. But like I said, the service to him hasn't been that good. Obviously with the Ross Barkley injury, and Grealish can't do it all himself, can he? I think I'm gonna put him in good. Next one is Aubameyang. If we're going off this season, he'd probably be good. But if we're going off, like Aubameyang in general, he's got to be world class. No, he's underrated. Right, I've got an argument for Aubameyang. He might have not hit the heights running at the moment, but none of the Arsenal team have they? Like Aubameyang, we all know Aubameyang, what he can do with a football, and we all know how he can finish it. And obviously, he's one of the best strikers is definitely one of the best strikers in the Premier League, in my opinion. And I definitely deserves to be underrated because there's nobody that's good to pass to him. Like Arsenal, they don't have anybody which can pass to Aubameyang, and because Aubameyang, with Marco Reus was sick. They need like a Marco Reus. Or maybe even try and get Ozil back to, his old form. I'm going to put him in... I'm going to put him in overrated because I think Palace could do a lot better. I think they should be doing a lot better than IU. But he hasn't done too bad. He's been a very good servant for the club. Overrated doesn't mean they're bad, but, I don't think he's bad, but I don't think he's good. I was debating whether to put him in underrated, but I would have if it was last season. This season I haven't heard too much in, to be fair. St. Maximin definitely goes straight up into the underrated player. What a player he is. Very technical ability. Can run, can dribble, can shoot, can pass, can cross. He can play out wide. He can play up top. He's definitely a very, 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 very good striker. And I think he definitely deserves to be... in the underrated category, because I think for the rest of the Newcastle team, he kind of been that source of creativity for them. Next one is Reed. Divock Reed, I'm not gonna lie, he's gonna go and should be sold. He's gonna go in overrated because he actually has twisted my eye or twisted my head, to be honest. I was gonna put him in should be sold, however I'm not, because I think he is been fantastic for Fulham, I think, and even not, scoring goals or getting assist-wise, just holding up the ball, making them runs, difficult defence. Because I mean, where he came from in the Championship, he's doing very well in the Premier League. Brewster is the next one. I'm going to put Brewster in... Oh, it's tricky with Brewster because he hasn't really got a chance at Sheffield United. I want to put him in between overrated and good. I'm going to put him in good because we all know he's a good striker, but he hasn't been given the chances for Sheffield United, which he should. And yeah, I'm going to put Ryan Brewster in good. Next one is Cavani, underrated. I think Edson Cavani. I think he'll be like an Ibrahimovic type of striker for Manchester United. He's always been crapped on for the many seasons that he's played with PSG and all that, saying he should be nowhere near the team with Neymar and Mbappe. But he is absolutely another different sort of gravy, Cavani. Absolute class striker, class player, a header ball, can finish, can run. He's that target striker which Manchester United have been needing, and need a goal scorer. Cavani's that goal scorer. Chris Wood, now we're going to move on to, right, well, nah, right, I'm going to put him in good, because I don't think Chris Wood is good. I definitely think he should play in the Premier League. I'd love to see what Chris Wood can do, you know, in a bit more of an exciting team. I'd love to see what he could do in, like, a Leeds or something like that, you know, a bit of an attacking, fast-flowing football. Because we all knew what he did at Leeds, you know, a few seasons ago, you know, when they had Rob Green in goal, you know. But he was absolutely superb for Leeds then. He'd been absolutely fantastic for Burnley, ex-Birmingham player as well. So, yeah, I've got to put him in good. I think he's a class striker, he's a finisher, he's a goal scorer, and he's perfect. Benteke, right. Oh my god, after that performance against West Brom, I don't know where to put him. He was absolutely class against West Brom, but I think I'm going to put him in overrated. I really do not think he is the correct man for Chris Badge. I think his time has come, to be fair, you know, as a striker for the Premier League. However, maybe he could, you know, turn things round. You know, maybe he could, you know, change my head a bit, you know. Right, Danny Welbeck. I'm going to put Danny Welbeck in overrated again. I think he's a good striker, though, but I just think he's not Premier League quality again, even though he did score against the Villa, which you guys didn't know I am a Birmingham City fan. And, you know, I'm obviously trying to take all my unbiased possible opinions out of this. Yeah, I think he's overrated, to be fair. I think he's done absolutely fantastic. I don't think he's done fantastic, actually. What am I going on about? I don't know, you know. Danny Welbeck was really good for Arsenal a few seasons back, but he just hasn't hit the ground running, especially when he was at Watford. He did all right for Watford, but nothing special. I think the players who I put in overrated need to prove themselves. All the players I put in overrated can prove themselves, but at the moment, they need to be doing a little better. Origi, good. I'm going to put Origi in good. I think he's a good striker. I think if he ever left Liverpool, I think he would be in a mid-table Premier League club. And yeah, Origi's the go. And Wesley, I'm going to put him in should be sold. He hasn't hit that ground running, whatever, for Villa. You know, he done really well for his first couple of games at Villa, but he just had an injury, and, you know, obviously returning from that, and, you know, maybe still give him a chance. Could probably, you know, redo his form again. Still fairly young, and I think I should put him in should be sold. You know, I think Villa need to make their money back for him. Tammy Abraham, I'm going to put him in good. I think Tammy Abraham is a good striker. Still very young for a striker, very tall, always that threat that you need. I'd love to see him go out on loan to another Premier League club like a Crystal Palace, for example, or a Brighton. I think he could do absolutely fantastic there because he can finish with his feet, he can head a ball. You know, if you get a cross in, he's guaranteed to get his head on it, and I think he is a genuine good striker. Roberto Firmino, a man which get crapped on a lot, which I try to defend as much as possible. Underrated. I know that's going to cause a lot of beef. I know that's going to cause a lot of aggro. I know that's going to cause this. I know that's going to cause that. But, you know, I think Roberto Firmino should go in underrated, in my opinion. Next striker we're going to move on to is Callum Wilson, who is a good striker. He's good. That's all I can really say. You know, he's doing very well for Bournemouth, doing very well for Newcastle now, getting a few goals for Newcastle. I remember, I think he got the brace against Everton, didn't he, when they won 2-1 at St James's Park. Yeah, he's a good striker. Next, we move on to Sebastian Hannah, overrated in my opinion. I don't think he's worth the money that West Ham paid for him. However, he is starting to turn back into the goal scoring machine that he was at Frankfurt. Got the winner against Sheffield United not long ago, and he scored. I think he scored the goal against Manchester United, didn't he? No, I don't think he did. What am I going on about? But, you know, yeah, I mean, he's an alright striker. I think he definitely could, you know, maybe, you know, if he gets a few more goals this season, he'll probably go in the good category, you know, and I think he's capable of going in even the underrated category, but I think he's overrated for the time being. I don't think he's done as well as what I think he should have been doing. Aguero, I think, okay, you know what? He shouldn't be at Manchester United whatsoever, but I think when he came into Manchester United, he scored a load of goals, honestly, and I think he's a decent rotational striker. Every single club needs that. Every single club needs a striker, you know, that that can do a job but won't moan about game time, for example. And I think Aguero is that guy. I think he definitely should be in the overrated category. I don't think he could ever move up to good. I think it was last season I would have put him in good, but this season so far I'm going to put him overrated. Jay Rodriguez, I'm going to put him in should be sold. I don't think he's that good personally. I I think most of his goals which he scored have been flukes, really. But like I said, what I'm saying is probably causing a load of arguments, to be fair. I know you guys were going about me, you know, what are you saying? This guy's done this, you guys have done that. Right, this is my opinion, okay? Right, Jay Rodrigo should be signed, in my opinion. I think they need to bring in another striker, Burnley. Joelinton, I'm going to put him overrated. No, he's not overrated, though. Because nobody hypes him up, but I think he needs to be in that category because I don't think he's been that good, if that makes any sense. I love how I've only just realised, like, red is meant to be at the bottom, but green's meant to be at the top, but I've completely messed that up. But, you know, I can't be asked to change it. Yeah, Joelinton, he's starting to turn into a bit of a, you know, good player. You know, obviously coming all the way from the Bundesliga to the Premier League, you know, takes time to gel and all that. So, yeah, I have a lot of faith in him. Gabriel Jesus is... I'm going to put him in good. He's a good striker, good Brazilian, doing well for Manchester City, in my opinion. No, you know, I'm sticking in good. Yeah, he's a good striker, really good player. Can make runs, can finish the ball. I think he's showing to prove that a lot recently. Probably one of Man City's best signings they've made recently. We've got Kelechi Iheanacho. I think, you know what, I'm going to put him in good. You might think I'm being a bit sour with that one, but every time I've seen when he played for Leicester, he's been fantastic. But he just doesn't get given the chance because obviously Vardy is Jamie Vardy. So I think, yeah, Iheanacho goes in good for me. And, yeah, I think he's a good striker if he gets played a lot more. I've watched him a few times recently. But I think if he would leave, I think he could definitely do a job for whatever, any other club which would be willing to give him game time. So I think if he ever went to like a Villa, a West Brom, a Fulham, I think he could do quite well there. Batshuayi, I'm going to put him in underrated, honestly. I think he's brilliant striker. I don't know how on earth he has not been given like a proper chance at Chelsea. I think he's absolutely class. He can finish, he can head it, he can shoot. I think he's improved that for Belgium as well. You know, he's not been given the chance. But I mean, Crystal Palace has been superb. I think he is a goal scorer. And I definitely do think he should be in that underrated category. Morpay, man, which you either love or you hate. I hate him, to be fair. But I'm going to put him in. I can't deny he's a good striker. I really cannot deny he is a good striker, to be fair. I even think he's underrated, which I'm just, yeah. No, I'm going to put him in good. I think he is a good striker. I think he's done well for Brighton. I think he's definitely been worth the money that Brighton have paid. And, yeah, he's been my take. Che Adams, right. If this was Jam last season, I probably would have put him in overrated. But this season, he's been very good, I've heard from Southampton fans. So I've heard, he's holding the ball quite well. He's got a few assists, got a few goals. He can finish. He can, he's like that little spark and that little bit of creativity, which I think Southampton have lacked over many seasons. And I definitely think he should go in the good category. But if there was an option to put him in between, I think I would have, between good and overrated. But, I do think he's young as well. And, yeah, he's got plenty of time. I think it's harsh to judge Vitra because he's not been really given a chance for Burnley. You know what? When he's actually played for Burnley, he's had fun quite well. So I'm going to put him in the overrated category. I don't think he's overrated, but I do think he's in that, category as well because I think he's been absolutely superb when he does play for Burnley. But I just don't think he's good enough for the Premier League. However, I think if he moved to a West Brom, I think he could make the doubters all wrong. Or, if he moved to a club which could actually get game time at. Charlie Austin should be sold. He's past it now, in my opinion. Unless we, reform something into QPR, Charlie Austin I could understand. Next one, Fabio Silva. Haven't seen too much of him, to be fair. I'm going to put him in. Good. I haven't seen too much of him. I really can't judge. I don't really want to judge the players that I've seen. So I kind of want to put him in the even category, good. For what I have seen of him, he does look very young and vibrant, and I think it's very hard to judge a 18-year-old kid playing in the Premier League for arguably another top 6 club. Muse, overrated. He had that one little, spell and little run with, Sheffield United a season ago, but I haven't heard anything from him since, and I think he should be in the overrated category. Right, I'm sorry but you guys can't see that. Right, we're now moving on to McBurney. Not good enough for Sheffield. No, actually, you know, I'm going to put him in good. I think he's done well for Sheffield United. Whoa, wrong play. I think he's done well for Sheffield United, and I definitely do think he should be in the team. But there's nobody that can pass to him. I think he does have a chance in the Premier League. He proved that he was good enough, you know, at Swansea, you know, and, you know, for going through the entire youth system, now playing first team football in the Premier League. I think he's a great forward. Now we're moving on to the next one, which is Olivier Giroud. Underrated one. I think he's an absolutely great striker, honestly. You know, definitely, you know, he's even probably better than Verna this season, which is, you know, brilliant. Right, next one's Patrick Bamford. Underrated immediately, I think. You know, I always shitted on Patrick Bamford because I didn't think he was that good. But recent events made me change my mind. He's been absolutely superb in the Premier League. Wasn't that good in the Championship though. I felt like he was very mistake prone, but I definitely do think he's an underrated striker because in where he came from in the Championship and now playing first team football in a, you know, currently a mid-table Premier League club. Next one is Raul Jimenez. Underrated again. I think Raul Jimenez is definitely an underrated striker. I think he is absolutely class. I think he is a brilliant striker, good goal scorer. Because in like where he came from at Wolves and all playing, nobody really knew him when he was at Benfica, and now playing first team football for a top 6 club in the Premier League. And also we wish Raul Jimenez all the best. You know, honestly, you know, obviously, you know, we're unfortunate with his head injury, so hopefully, you know, he can recover, and I'm sure he will be back stronger and better than ever. And I've just spat all over my Feckin' kit, all over my blooming desktop, which is not very nice. Right, next one we're going to move on to is Rodrigo. Hasn't hit the heights, I don't think that he has. But then again, Patrick Bamford has been that good this season. He's kept him out. But I think it's harsh to judge him so far, so I'm going to put him in good. I think he's a good striker. Proved it at Valencia. And, yeah, he even scored in his Leeds debut, I think. And he's an absolute, and he is a tank. And I think if Leeds playing with Patrick Bamford, like a 4-4-2 role, he can do well. Next player we're going to move on to is Mitchevich. Good again for Mitchevich. I think he's a very good striker. I think he's Fulham. I think he should definitely be in the Premier League. I think if Fulham get relegated again, a Premier League club should look to snoop him up, or should go for him like a Brighton or a Newcastle or a Burnley or something that, you know. But I think he is a good striker. I mean, if Fulham have any chance of staying at the scene, I feel like he'll be the man which they're going to rely on. Aldrich should be sold. Not good enough for the Premier League, I don't think. I don't know how on earth he's getting first team football in the Premier League. You'd have to, you know, getting relegated with Ipswich Town, and, you know, now going, you know, with, and then, you know, obviously Mitchevich, and he was absolutely tanking the Championship, honestly. You know, I'd have him at Birmingham in almost a heartbeat. Moving on to Calvert-Lewin, underrated. I think he's been absolutely superb for Everton recently. The top Premier League goal scorer, and arguably one of the most current informed strikers in the Premier League at the moment. I think he's scored, 11 goals in 10 games. Absolutely fantastic for this man. He's been a new man under Carlo Ancelotti, and I definitely do think he is a striker, which I think doesn't deserve a chance at a bigger club, because I think he could do well at Everton. I think he is doing well at Everton. I think he could rebuild Everton. Great man. Next player, moving on to who's this now? We're moving to Anthony Martial. Oh god, this one. I'm sorry, Manchester United fans, but I've got to put him in overrated at the moment. You know, he's not been hitting the ground running recently. I think he should be doing a lot better. He hasn't even scored this season, and for a striker, which is usually the first name of the team sheet, you know, which you'd usually expect to be the first name of the team sheet, has been shocking. Next player we're now moving on to is Teemo Verna. Oh, I don't know where to put Teemo Verna. I want to put him in world class, but he's not been doing that well this under Chelsea at the moment. Oh, I don't know where to put Teemo. I'm gone. I think I'm going to put him in overrated. Because I know some of you guys are screaming at me, going, why? Overrated doesn't mean you're bad, okay? Overrated doesn't mean you're bad. Overrated does not mean you are bad, okay? I just don't think he's been as good as Chelsea fans expected. Shane Long should be sold. Why is he at Southampton? Why is he still there? And the final striker, Wilfried Zaha. Underrated. Underrated in my opinion. Great striker, great player. And yeah, hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you guys have, please make sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel, as we are very close to obviously hitting 1.7k, so please go and show some love. And yeah, thank you for watching this video, lads. Love every single one of you, and let me know your thoughts on this as well, and I will catch you in a bit, lads. Much love and see ya.